Thank you very much, Mr. Organizer. Thank you, Sibec team, for allowing me to share with you this discussion. No doubt, it's very entrepreneurial, very exciting. And here I would like to speak to you about a different angle where it's a sector that has not been looked after for quite a long time. And now there is a big focus on it, which actually unlock an opportunity of investment up to almost 200 billion real in the coming 15 years. And that sector mainly is the waste management sector. Now, I'm sure during the past 2 interesting days, a lot of people have spoken to you about Saudi Arabia, being one of the top 20 G20 countries, 1.2 billion GDP. That gives us an intentions that is, it's not only a youth agile, but it's a proven economical growth that is there. Now, the sector that not been looked after quite a long time actually is the waste management sector. Now, in early 2015, the government has addressed their ambitions to divert more than 90% of the generated waste of Saudi Arabia from the landfill all the way to other industries like energy and other recyclables. And that will really, the main objective is actually to promote the circular economy. And like what I mentioned, this will allow for us to unlock an investment of almost 190 billion dollar worth of an investment in the coming 15 years. Now, why do we mention this in particular? The most beneficial part of the waste management sector, that is a sector is not sizable. It's actually adjusted based on the business investment. What I mean is that an investment between a $5,000, $10,000 all the way to more than $200 million is justified in that area based on the financial capabilities of the investor itself. And that's the beauty behind it. Now, to understand the situation further, we need to know what is happening now. Now, the classical work of the generated waste goes directly from the generated source, which is houses, like at the case of the MSW, all the way to be collected and goes to the landfill for landfilling, which actually allows a recovery not more than 10%. Definitely, that leaves a lot of ambiguity. One of them is the illegal scavenging, the bad management of the material, weak in tracking the generated materials, lack of capabilities of monitoring it so we can controlling it. And like the addressed ambition is to reach up to 95% of divergence by 2040, hopefully 85 by 2020. And now, accordingly, we need to build a lot of regulatory reforms. We need to unlock a lot of opportunities. So that's why in 2015, they have incepted what's called the National Waste Center, which is MOAN. And the MOAN have started already launched their policy and procedure about the waste management and how to be regulated. And also the government have initiated a local company to enable the investment in different type of industries, in addition to supporting the local and international investors to move in that directions. Now, MOAN outcomes came very clear. They have classified whoever in the industry aware of that number of classification of streams of generated. Some of them are already under the radar and some of them are not being looked after. For your information, the total annual generated waste by Saudi Arabia reaches up to more than 15 million tons. Regretfully, like what I mentioned, less than 10% it's been diverted. However, it's important to highlight that precious and critical waste is being already taken care of. Like, for example, critical waste like industrial hazardous waste, you will find there is a quite good number of investment in that area as it's being actually regulated and monitored since a long time. The same thing, the recovery materials, like, for example, paper, plastic, scraps, you'll find there is already an investment to scavenge them. And this is why we're talking about the 10% recovery that is happening before the landfill. Now, there is a tremendous number of untapped opportunities, like, for example, tire, electronic waste, green waste, RDFs, which is the fuel derivatives, are not being looked after. And hopefully going forward, we are going to see further and further investment on that one. Now, that map is actually an interesting map. This is A few of it is my efforts and some of it from professional feedback. It tells actually where is the potential area of an investment. Now, any generated waste stream start from the collection part to the recycling treatment to the recovery part, then to the end of life or disposal. And here I have took actually the major areas to look after. But definitely it's going to be diverted into multiple streams there. One of them is the material, the municipality waste, and that municipality waste builds actually different streams. One of them is the recyclables, the metal recycling, the organic material that comes to be converted to composting, and finally the fuel derivatives, which is actually until now most of our high intensive energy companies are relying to the fossil fuel as a main fuel supply without alternatives. And now there is an ambition by the Ministry of Energy encouraging the companies to find an alternative for fuel energy. One of them, for example, is the solar panels, and the other one actually is the RDF generated from the material, which guarantees a diversion of more than 50% of the generated waste back to be converted to energy again. In addition to lubricants, electronic waste, and probably you might find here that I did not mention the hazardous waste, mainly for the reason that it's getting mature. There is a setting built around it, and definitely there is a potential area of an investment here. Now, considering that one, this is a snapshot of the expected revenue out of every business unit streams between the collection part to the sorting part and to the trading part, and then there is a different streams of lines. Now, if you go back, just to bring you back, if you will see the colored blocks here, you will find every segmented area. Is it sizable? Is it of a value creation? Is it managed and controlled? Is it regulated? And that actually identify the potential investments on that area. And accordingly, these are the figures we have come up with to start with. Now, like what I mentioned earlier, the main benefit or advantage of the investment in that area that it is a scalable investment. It gets a benefit of an investing whether by $10,000 all the way to $200 million. There is a great potential opportunities, as I mentioned, a 190 billion worth of investment available. People are waiting for the regulations to come and then to invest directly. And definitely, as regular, by the time that you wait for things to happen, opportunity will be missed. So we always encourage people to move as early as possible and to capture the opportunity in the growth sector. Now, definitely, any move as such has its own challenges. One of them is that some of the regulations has been unlocked yet, but we believe that it's going to be. Another one, which is the cultural perceptions, because in every nation, if the nation have been grown to built into throwing the materials without monitoring the volume of generated, without segregation of the materials, that put the challenges to the sorting part for value creations around the generated material waste. Potentially, we know that the government is moving to the concept of 3 bins concept, which actually will enhance the recovery of the recyclables, will enhance the recovery of the green waste, and then finally the RDF production. Until then, we encourage everyone to be ready for accepting that change and to build the ecosystem around it. And I'll be open for any Q&A going forward, because like what I mentioned, I know it's a green field, but it has a lot of opportunity and it opens a lot of questions to move things forward. Thank you very much.